Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and a model kit. I'm doing both the things that I normally build on the stream. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the set emote. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those emotes back at me. Let me know you're here. You can also just say hi. You don't have to do emotes, especially if you're not a currently a subscriber, which you could be. But if you're not, you can just say hi, and that's cool. Want to thank folks that are here, and as we hang out here, hopefully we'll get a few more fun faces in. If it's a light Saturday night, that's okay. Thursday turned out to be pretty dang great as a stream. Took a couple minutes to get going. Lashbrook is here. Hey, Lashbrook. But yeah, we ended the night with a bunch of community subs, which was rad. A bunch of gifted subs out to the community. It was 10 subs. It was awesome. Wristfan's here. Hi, Wristfan. Happy to have you here. Working on the end of the Lego 3-in-1 Sea Monsters. We're building the whale. I have to. I'm using my iPad, which does not look good in this one here. But yeah, I'm going to be using my iPad to assemble because these instructions are in PDF form available on the internet. And so I got on my iPad Mini, and I will be using those to put this thing together. And when that is done, I'm going to move on to Johnny Ryden's Zaku 2 real grade. It's a real grade, fantastic looking kit, real sharp looking, some good weapons. I did that secret build as well last year on the set. It was nice. Yeah. So I don't this is the first time on stream I've ever done the fourth build. Not every 3-in-1 has a fourth build. Some do, some don't. This one just really appealed to me because it's a whale and it looks cool, and so I was like, well, I'll do that. I forgot how nice the real grade instruction booklet is. As we wait for a few more folks to join us, it's just so nice. It's black and white. It's got the splashes of color of where things are connecting. It's just a very clean, lovely looking thing. Lots of instructions in English, which is helpful for me. There is there's always a gimmick. This real grades gimmick is there are springs, which you probably can't see in this bag, but there's some springs in this bag, and those are used for the tubing on the back of the kit. So it is very cool. One thing I have to do when we go to the overhead, I do have to remember to turn off autofocus because I think I forgot to do that. That's my big advice to you. If you ever want to do a stream like this where you have two webcams running, you should get different webcams because the Logitech software I use does not like that I have these cameras are identical cameras. And it's only in like some adjustments, like if I turn off autofocus on one in the Logitech settings, it does not do the same thing with the other. Does not, you can't, or it does the same with the other. And I want this to focus, and I don't care. I don't want this one to autofocus because I'm moving around too much. It's a small little thing. Someday I could. Hey, do I have a camera that I could, through some software trickery, turn into a new camera for myself? Yeah, I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. It doesn't make sense at this time, but it is an option for the future. I think we'll get going. We're going with our build in a moment or two. Just waiting to see if anybody else wants to join us tonight. Again, maybe it'll be a short night. Maybe people are watching many hours of wrestling over at AEW. Even though we've had so much wrestling lately, maybe people are watching wrestling. They're watching basketball. I don't know what else is going on a Saturday night. Other streams. Maybe they're hanging out in other streams. I don't know. It happens. It's okay. If we got a light night, we got a light night. I'm all right with that. All right, I'm going to retweet that we are building, which is good. Okay, and then we're going to go to our overhead, and I'm just going to quickly adjust a thing right quick. Configure camera, turn off the autofocus. I occasionally forget to do that before a stream starts. But like I said, can't save it ahead of time, which is annoying. But anyway, yeah. So you can see I got my instructions down here. Knolled all the pieces, prepared for the thing. Did a couple steps just to warm up the fingers, aka the fingies, to get this together. And yeah, we're going to do this whale, which is the fourth build. You see there's a 4 there in the corner. We built the shark on Saturday, or no, on Monday, sorry. And then on Thursday, we built the anglerfish and the squid. And now we're building the whale. Which should be a fun little build. The first thing we're building is some sort of aquatic creature the whale is chasing. Is it just a very large, in my eyes, plankton? I think it's a plankton, or some sort of shrimp thing. I don't know, but it's being chased by this whale. So, I mean, whales eat plankton, so that's why I thought it was plankton, but I don't know. It could be some other thing. As I said, I'm unsure. I haven't got a chance to play much of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but I'm starting to see why everyone likes Goldfinger's Superman. You know what? Yeah, Superman is just a great song. They did a lockdown version of it that they released, which is where they're all in different places and homes, and it's all synced together in a music video, and that's real fun. But yeah, that's just a great song. This is a great tune by a fun, cool band. Um, I'm so happy for Fiddlar. There's a bunch of new music on the soundtrack, and I'm particularly thrilled for Fiddlar because I think there are going to be a bunch of people who get this might be their exposure to that very cool, very neat band, and I'm hoping that people are like, will check them out. I mean, I hope that for a lot of the artists, but them, I think they're in particular. I'm very excited and hopeful that Fiddlar, that this really benefits them. Um, I have not touched it because I am not a skater boy. I don't. Those aren't. That's not my jam. I'm happy for folks that seem to be really loving it, that have both nostalgia and the other folks that are like just psyched about a real cool skate game. Um, and yeah, I think that like uh, it's neat, and I'm psyched for people. Also, I'm happy for people to have a cool video game to play. That sounds rad. I look forward to seeing what the track creators, the park creator, what people kind of do there in that level editor. I'm excited to see what people create there because that thing, looks pretty robust. So I'm sure some people are going to make some wild things. Okay, so we finished our plankton. I don't know, whatever this thing is, the thing that's being chased. So we'll put that aside there as we focus on our whale. We got to build a whale here. We're gonna have a whale of a time. Um, you know what, folks? Harold is now hosting the stream. Thank you very much, Harold. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here on the old Build with Baer workshop. So you may have seen me tweet about it. You may have seen others. You may have even seen, maybe you follow Twitch on Twitter and you saw them. They announced. I'll get into that in a second because I want to read last book. I sort of have nostalgia? Question mark. I don't get into these games until 3 and had the GBA version of 2, so like mostly all the levels are fresh to me. Hell yeah! So you have nostalgia for like Tony Hawk Pro Skater as like a thing, not necessarily 1 and 2. That's awesome. But that's even better because then the things are fresh for you. Harold just cheered 69 bits. Very nice. Gonna hit the applause there. Thank you so much, Harold. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you for your support, as always, my friend. So, Twitch Sings is going to end on the 1st of January, 2021. And they released all of the songs that were going to be that they had licensed to slowly release, because, they release in waves of songs at packs, basically. They don't call them that, but, they release it, several at a time. They just released all of them. And there are some real good songs in there. And so I was going to do a Hearthstone stream on Wednesday, but because of this, and also because I played a little Hearthstone this previous Wednesday, as I waited for Jackbuck folks to arrive. Hello, Lord Crashington. So I'm going to try to do a monthly Twitch Sings stream up until the end of Twitch Sings, because I think it's a very cool app. Now, I'm not surprised. I will say, recently, the last Twitch Sings stream I did, was immediately muted. As soon as the VOD went up, it was muted. And that's never happened before. Actually, generally, the VODs of Twitch Sings were fine for until they were taken off, and they were never muted. But this last one was instantly muted. And that was a bad sign of things to come, I feel like. But it was, I'll try to get a duet ready for you. Well, I appreciate the Harold. Yeah, please let me know if you decide to do one. That'll be fun. But really, what it comes down to is I'm not surprised because, look, could they have done more for it to move it, to move the needle, to whatever, to get better interest in it? Yeah, I'm sure they could have done more. But did it catch on? No. Does it cost a lot of money? I'm sure. I'm sure the server stuff isn't cheap. I'm sure the community stuff that they have to do with it isn't is resources they could be using other places. And I'm sure the licensing and continuing those licenses, because you don't want to take songs off the thing. And it was a free app, so I'm not super surprised that it's going away. I'm bummed. I will say this: I'm pleased to know when it's going away. Now, not that, hey, we decided to shut down Twitch Things. Thank you for everybody that decided to rock with us, or whatever. Instead, they're like, hey, you've got a couple months left, and then you don't have this anymore. I'm like, all right, yeah, I get it. I think the tech is very cool. I hope they use it in some other places. I know, you all know that we use it in a kind of a weird way, in that I do duets with myself, which is not how the software was designed, probably. Um, but I liked it, and I thought it was cool. And sometimes it's just fun to have a karaoke app, and it's a free karaoke app with some pretty good songs and some pretty good technology related to it. So yeah, that'll be Wednesday. Will be my next Twitch Sing stream as we start, as it starts ramping down. And I'm going to try to do all new songs, because I haven't been through all of the catalog yet, but there's a lot of new stuff. So I think I'm going to clear all my old songs out of my favorites and add just all these new ones, and try to do a bunch of viewers voting to see what I do next, and then try to do a bunch of just new tunes. I think that would be cool. And try to do a bunch of duets, and of course a bunch of solo songs. So I think that'll be on Wednesday. I think that'll be pretty good. I think that will be pretty okay. As we start working on our whale here, having a whale of a time. Ha 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 ha. But other than that, things are doing okay out there. Things are doing all right. As best as one can. I talked about this a little bit on Twitter, and I wanted to, chat a bit about the algorithm, right? Well, we've talked about YouTube's algorithm before, right? Like how if you watch enough stuff, and it starts making assumptions about what you like based on, what you watch. And so it's like, well, you watch a lot of anime. We figure you probably want to watch some of these dubs, these not dubbed voices, these comedy dubs, like the abridged version of Yu-Gi-Oh or Dragon Ball Z. Like, you probably want these, right? You want to watch these, and it's like, no, I don't. Oh, okay. Well, you want rants about them, right? Like negative rants about anime, and the people who like it. It's like, no, I don't want that. Oh, okay. Well, do you want to watch a clip you watched 3 months ago that we're gonna, for some reason, take off the part that looks like you watched it and serve it to you again? It's like, no, I don't want that. Oh, okay. Well, we don't have anything new for you somehow, so we'll just stop recommending the anime for a bit. Hey, you haven't watched a Watch Mojo video in 2 years. You want to watch some Watch Mojo videos? Let's recommend 8 of them. You watched a tribute to Black Panther. Do you want to watch a lot of stuff about Endgame? Like critical analysis about Endgame? Well, I mean, maybe I'll watch one of them. That might be cool. Cool. How about a bunch of clips of Spider-Man? I didn't ask for that. Always loved the way YouTube removed the progress bar in videos you've seen before. Yeah, Lord Crash did it. After a while, it's just like they're like, well, you don't remember. It's like, no, I do. I do remember. Uh, it was just a whole thing. The latest is a friend sent me a thing because we have been talking about a viral video that one of those food prep viral videos that are clearly fake, and you can tell like that's not the same milk carton. The milk carton you're taking out of the microwave is not the same one you put in. Come on. So he sent me this like debunking. There's a person out there that debunks a lot of this stuff. It's a food scientist and does like experiments saying like, well, let's try the way they say it because. And so I watched like a couple of her videos and they were fine. Nothing I'm really going to be super into, but at this point, I'm trying a bunch of different kind of videos out because maybe I will be into something. You always need more content. And so the algorithm, instead of showing me because I made the mistake of watching a couple. If you watch a couple, then the algorithm is like, you're interested in this, huh? Okay. Um, so the main thing is instead of showing me, like you might assume they would do, they started showing me the viral videos or other viral videos. I'm like, no. I don't want to watch these videos. I watched the debunking one. Don't show me the ones that were debunked. I don't want to watch those. I have other things I'm watching. Lastbrook says, could be worse. I was watching Crunchyroll before this and kept getting ads for a dude running for Congress trying to use Austin defunding the police as a boogeyman. Oh, that's awful. That's some targeted bullshit. I'll say this, y'all. I don't recommend it for everyone, but for me anyway, one of the beautiful things of paying for YouTube Premium, one, I got Google Music, which is going away, and that sucks. I don't want to use YouTube Music. I much prefer Google Music, but whatever. One of the best benefits of YouTube Premium is I don't see YouTube ads anymore. Now, part of that was because it came with that, and that was good to have YouTube, Google Music. That was nice. One of the big things of that was the benefit of, for work purposes, I could be on anyone's computer. I just log in, and I don't see ads. So if somebody's asking me to find a video at a comedy show, then ad won't play before the video. It'll just start. Also, if ads would be running for YouTube creators, folks that are in the creator program, it acts as if I watched an ad for them. They get some revenue, so that's nice. Lord Crashington says, I saw one of those ads and I got another. I got the other day was 48 minutes long if I had let it go all the way. Yeah, I don't miss YouTube ads. I mean, also the nice thing about paying for premium is that those ads, like I'm just avoiding them. I'm not using an ad blocker, and also totally respect if people want to use ad blocker stuff for video. Totally get it, totally understand it. You do you do the best you can. But yeah, I mean that was the thing, right? The last time I saw a lot of ads was when I was still paying for Hulu, because as you all know, I have a broken record about this, but I will say it again. There was nothing like paying for Hulu and then still watching the same goddamn ads. Yo boy, not a big fan of that, and so glad that I don't have that anymore. Or that like, hey, watch this really long video. If you watch this really long ad, we won't show you any more ads. And sometimes that's not accurate. They will show you another ad because you waited too long to watch your thing because you paused it for whatever reason you wanted to pause it. You paused it, and they're like, "Well, you paused it too long. Now we're going to show you an ad, even though we said we wouldn't. We're gonna." I do not miss that about Hulu at all. Paying for Funimation to get my anime. Look, if I watched other things on Hulu, this would be fine. It would have been totally okay to watch other things on Hulu if that was the case. But since it wasn't, and I was just paying to be annoyed, like forget it. Uh, I was only watching anime on there. So now I'm on Funimation. The Funimation player, I think, is actually okay. It's not great. The queue list, I think, is fine. They're very quick to try to get me to buy things because, of course, they have Blu-rays and DVDs and a store and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not super thrilled with that, but whatever. It is what it is. For the most part, I'm just like, yeah, not happy or happy to not have Hulu. Trying to figure those things out. All right, so we're going to put this on here. Okay. Working on our whale head here. Oh, we got our mouth coming in. Got to build this mouth. But yeah, the algorithm is particularly odd right now just because I'm watching so much stuff on. Like, I just have things ready to go on YouTube. I always like to have a few things. And so I'm watching archives of things and various other pieces of whatever and trying to, figure out what's next as far as like entertainment because, you know, still got to be entertained, still got to have things going on. Still want to, have things. And occasionally I'll just go on Twitch and click on somebody that I follow and watch them during the day, but, I don't always do that. I think for me, a lot of Twitch is um, if I know someone is streaming and it's a specific thing that I'm interested in, I go and watch that. Um, and then I watch a lot of like after I stream, I'll go to another stream. Apologies on Thursday. I always try to pick somebody on the West Coast because the hope is that they will be streaming for a while, so that I don't go and hang out. And then Ben Wheeler, who's fantastic, didn't stream that long, so that was kind of a bummer. I hopefully will be able to have us go and hang out with someone who is going to be streaming for a while, so that I put that on wrong. So that you'll have some entertainment there, some time. And I apologize for that. But yeah, that's why I usually pick people on the West Coast because the hope is that they'll go longer, and people uh, can enjoy. But yeah, I usually watch streamers at the end of the night. Is kind of cool down. I don't usually just go to Twitch to see what's up. I never go and click on like, well, let's see who's just chatting right now. Let me go check out a stranger's just chatting stream, or who's playing Fall Guys. Let me go click on someone with 30 viewers who's playing Fall Guys. Like that's not my thing. I maybe on occasion will click a recommended because it's somebody that they think I would enjoy, and sometimes I do that, but that's pretty rare, I would say. I don't know. What do y'all do? Y'all got stuff how do you Twitch? Is your appointment television? You see notifications from people. You're watching some stream and you see a notification that someone you really like is going live, and so you click on that. I've almost never clicked on that thing when someone I follow goes live, unless I know ahead of time. But also, I watch collectives, so they don't always have things that are super for me. Uh, I don't like spooky games that often. So even though we do, on occasion here, go and raid Mary Kish, who plays a lot of spooky, scary stuff. That's not my particular interest. So I tend to sometimes think, maybe I don't want to go stick around and watch this. But yeah, let me know in the chat how you all do it. Do you how do you interact there? You go and just click on whatever. Do you ever click on? Do you ever watch go to twitch.tv and then click on like the video that's auto playing on the front page of Twitch? Like, do you ever go to twitch.tv/Twitch and just watch whatever they thought you should check out? Or you're like, who's streaming Minecraft tonight? Yeah, let me know. Or Tony Hawk. If you were like, well, I want to watch some people play Tony Hawk. I don't know who I don't have anyone that I'm following, but I really want to check out Tony Hawk, so I will go and just click on somebody that has a lot of views because that means they are somewhat competent, and then I'm just going to click around in case the first person I drop in on is not great. Um, like I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you think of that, if that's something you do, or if you're just like, no, these are the people that I like, and I know when they stream because I check their schedule, and I'll go there. Lord Crashton says, I have a decent amount of people I follow and tune in if I have time to do so. Hell yeah. I sometimes look up specific games, and sometimes I try things Twitch recommends. Oh, nice, Aristofan. Yeah, I don't. That has not been my personal experience. I occasionally, not front page recommendations. Oh, but yeah, like if you look at who's streaming on your tab, if you see that, and then at the bottom of it, it's like, uh, yeah, hey, here's recommended channels, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that Dungeons and Dragons had their own Twitch channel. I do know that. That's just an example. Uh, cool. Oh, I'll go see what that is. Or, oh, I don't know. This is about all the Twitch I do unless I need to watch GB on my phone for some reason. Oh, yeah. I try not to watch any Giant Bomb through Twitch. I try to watch them through the website. I mean, also partly because in that chat, I'm a friend of the site, so my text is a different color, which means that sometimes people respond to what I'm saying, which is just nice. Sometimes you just want to be seen in the world, you know? And that is the way I am seen, is by my witty banter, or occasionally just telling people to check out what Ron Funches is up to, because he rules. So nice to see Ron on the old Beastcast. It's just a pleasure to have him there. If you missed this week's Giant Beastcast, Ron Funches was a guest, and it was cool. It was a fun bit of business. It reminded me because Ron's a fun streamer. Yeah, he's just a great dude. A really good dude. So he was relating this story about wanting a. They gave Bacalar just so much shit. Yeah, they really dug it into Bacalar. Yeah, Ron is great. So Ron was talking about wanting one of those. It's not software, it's hardware emulation, game console things that sold out in a minute. I forget the exact one because I don't pay attention to those things because they're not for me. But he was talking about wanting one and how Andy Milanakis got one and was like, "Oh, I'll sell you another one," but he didn't do that. He didn't sell it to him. He and then he also was like reaching out. The Analog Pocket, thank you. It was the Analog Pocket, and how Milanakis also reached out to like Elijah Wood, and then Ron was like, "You don't know Elijah Wood, you know me," and I was like, "Yeah, that's true." But it reminded me of my. It's an anecdote. It's just an anecdote. My interaction with Andy and Giant Bomb, which is it's an anecdote. It's not a real story, but I'll say it. So I know Andy from years and years ago. I know Andy when he blew up on the internet. If you don't know, Andy Milanakis is a comedian who also is just just a solid good dude. Weirdy, wonderful weirdo. So he became famous because this is before YouTube. He became virally famous for writing a couple songs that were uploaded to his friend's website, Angry Naked Pat, no relation. And somebody who worked on Kimmel saw this video, saw the video and played it on Kimmel's show. And then Andy, who was a comedian and been doing stuff, eventually went out there. He was already in LA. He studied at UCB. I knew him at UCB and saw all his videos and stuff. And then he eventually had his own show, the Andy Milanakis Show. A bunch of my friends wrote on that. That's where I met. That's where I finally got to meet somebody that I had liked for a long time who wrote on that show, Jonah Ray. That's where we became friends, was Jonah working on that show with a bunch of my mutual friends. It worked out good for him. Worked out good for Andy. Andy was part of a rap collective with Dirt Nasty and fuck, who's the third member of their group? Andy and it's really funny because he's the most famous person. Uh, but I yeah, someone's about to put that in the comments. No, nobody knows. So yeah, Andy was in. Oh, Riff Raff. Look, folks, I don't know why I couldn't remember the name of Riff Raff, but I couldn't. Three Loco. They were a part. They had a trio called Three Loco. Um, uh, it's very funny to me because uh, Riff Raff is the most popular rapper of the three, but honestly, it's Dirt Nasty is just doing it. Riff Raff is Riff Raff. He's not. There's no heightened version of it. Andy doesn't take any part of it seriously, and honestly, Dirt Nasty is the best rapper of the three, and he's just doing a character. That's just the dude. But anyway, we're talking about that, and I was talking with that with Ryan Davis, and talking about these things, and you know, nobody of the three people we were talking about when talking about Three Loco, nobody was tagged. You don't tag people on Twitter when you're talking about them if you're talking, not even if you're talking smack, just in general. If I'm talking to you about someone, you don't include their name in it unless you want them included in the conversation. And then it was Ryan or somebody that replied to Ryan in a thread said something about like, oh, I don't like Andy, and then I replied something to the effect of, um, Andy is not here to be a rapper. Andy is here to be a funny guy who raps, which is the truth. Andy Milonakis is trying to have a rap career. Andy Milonakis is trying to have a career in a bunch of things, including rap. That's his deal. And then somebody decided, who was watching this conversation take place because they either were following Ryan or followed both of us, I don't remember, tagged Andy in there. So Andy got to see a couple people be like, not thrilled about him. And it was a thing where, like, I ended up replying to the person saying, like, hey, there's a reason I didn't tag him. Andy's a friend of mine, and this sucks. Don't tag people. You don't have to do that. And then that reminded me of this because people added Andy Milonakis about Ron calling him out. And that's to be expected a bit, right? You call out, he did it for comedy's sake, sure, whatever. But who's watching that and going, I gotta tell Andy Milonakis that Ron Funches is calling him out on a podcast about a thing he didn't remember because he didn't think that Ron was being serious. And also, Ron isn't being serious. Ron is doing comedy on a podcast. Don't be an adder. Don't be a... yes, Lord Crashton, Twitter snitches suck. Yeah, don't be a snitch. Nobody likes snitches. They don't often get stitches, but you just want to play it safe. Don't go looking for stitches. But yeah, I think that's if they're not tagged, you don't have to tag them. Is a good rule of thumb. People don't need that shit. I've gotten tagged in things that I'm like, I don't. Okay. And that's what I end up saying is I don't reply to the person that said anything to me. I reply to the person that is letting me know about this thing, and I just say okay. And if they follow up, I don't continue to engage because look, I already know that I am self-aware of faults that I have, things I can improve on. And of course that's generally not what this is. People generally don't tag you in constructive criticism. They tag you in, this person doesn't like what you're doing, and I want you to know that. But I'm also confident in me, and I don't need to know if people don't like what I do because I'm not for everybody. I'm not trying to be for everybody. If I was trying to be for everybody, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, because I would know that, by studying my numbers, I have a huge drop-off. Not a huge, I'll pull it back. I have a noticeable drop off in streams that I dedicate to Lego versus streams that I dedicate to model kits. I can also look at the data and decide what model kits do better than other ones. Ooh, do I get a bump when I do something from a series that's not Gundam once in a while? Yes. But if I do too much of them, no. So my first ship, ooh, that's a bump in doing a One Piece ship. My fifth One Piece ship or third One Piece ship, not that big of a bump, so I shouldn't do that anymore. Like, I can look at all that and I can tailor all that. But what I'd rather do is people buy stuff on my wish list that I think would be cool to build, and they buy it, and then I build it. Or I buy stuff that I'm interested in building. Uh, like, if the data told me that I don't do well when I build the Death Scythe, I would not be looking at that data because I'm going to build Death Scythes when they come out because I love that kit. I love every version of that kit. So I'm going to build them because that's my thing. Um, and that's the thing. I don't need that stuff. People do that to get shitty people involved when others are criticizing the thing they do. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, if I'm going to do a call out in this stream, we build Death Scythes. Yes, Aristofan, that is a core thing. We are not shitty people. We are respectful in the comments. This is entertainment, but not escapism. So we can talk about reality. We can talk about tough subjects, and also we build Death Scythes here. Death Scythes should apply. There is word for Death Scythes. But that, yeah, I mean, people want to, they want to stroke flames or whatever. Like, yeah, if I'm going to do a call out, sometimes you just want to complain about shit on Twitter and you don't need them to know. And sometimes you're like, okay, like to me, it is fine to retweet the Crunchyroll account announcing announcing a Shenmue video game. I have no problem retweeting Shenmue, that announcement about a Shenmue anime based on the video game, and being like, can you imagine how little is going to happen in the Shenmue anime? Like, how many episodes are going to be dedicated to moving crates? I think that's fine. I retweeted it. Does the community manager for Crunchyroll or any of the people working on community, are they going to look at that and go, aw, this guy's not psyched about this anime? No. But if, like, a person is just, like, talking some mess on the internet and I like them and they're just acting a fool, I might just say something vague about it. And yes, is that a subtweet? Sure. But subtweets don't hurt people. Direct tweets can't. I hate when I complain about a brand and their CS response. Yes, I was complaining about Amazon and how Amazon was just sending stuff in envelopes and not boxes, right? You may be interested to know that my last 2 orders from Amazon came in boxes. Did I at Amazon? No, I was just talking mess, and then someone replied, and I said, you don't have to worry about this. This is the trend that's happening right now. I wish it wasn't happening, but I also understand why this is the trend. Is to get things out the door and to get things move faster. Also, it has been said that the manila envelopes are getting through the post office faster than boxes are, so that's why people are doing the big envelopes. So I get it, but also I don't like it. I'd rather have a box. I'd rather have this box inside because things have been damaged. So yeah, they reach out. They're just scanning for things about that. Okay, fine, whatever. But yeah, sometimes you just want to be like, I don't like this thing, and I can't believe they're doing this. Like if you're a wrestling pay-per-view and you're only going to have 2 matches featuring women, and you put one of them on the pre-show, then yeah, I'm going to tweet about how that sucks, and I don't have a problem with that. Or if you're a wrestling company and reports say that you are telling your employees that even though they're not full-time employees, they are independent contractors, that they cannot do outside, they can't have any outside side hustles, then yeah, I'm going to tweet about that. Because I think that sucks. I don't think you suck about that. Now, in the context of understanding that is probably fueled in, it's not so much fueled as, oh, Cameo or Twitch, or YouTube, it's mostly fueled about like someone doing an ad for an energy drink on their Instagram when other energy drinks are sponsors of WWE programming. That's a thing that I can understand. I think saying, "Hey, you can't do endorsements," is a totally reasonable thing to say about people that that also shill products that you say they need to shill on your channel or on your television. I totally understand that. I think it's different if you're like, well, I don't have endorsements, but ads run and I get money from subscribers on Twitch. I think that's a very different thing. Also, they don't own the names of people. That is a silly try to fight me thing. It's like, no, you don't. You don't own real names. I don't know what you're thinking you do. I know you don't think that. That's just a threat that you're putting out there. Whatever. Uh, but yeah, people with itchy Twitter fingers are often very frustrating because it's just like you don't have to include people in that shit. You don't have to tattle. You don't have to tell people stuff. Look, I'll say this. Here's when you would say that. You are friends with the person. If I decided I should let Andy know, a guy I haven't seen in years, but I like Andy a lot, and Andy was a good dude. We always got along well. He was really good friends with some of my friends. I think he's an A-okay dude. I could definitely say, hey, a podcast I was listening to, Ron Funches talked some shit about you in a funny way. I think that's totally okay for me to do because I know him, I know this person. But I would say if you don't know him, then you don't need to do that shit. There's no reason to do that shit. Uh, and sometimes it's good or bad. Like maybe you don't know that I listen to Brad and Will's Tech Pod. Maybe you don't listen. Maybe you don't know I listen to Brad and Will made a Tech Pod, or whatever. Their name's bad. But you don't know that Will Smith and Brad Shoemaker. You know that. You didn't know that I listened to it. So, or I listen to it all the time. So when my name is mentioned in an episode because I wrote in an email, you can be like, "Oh, Pat, I heard you on they read your email on this thing," and I'll be like, "Oh, cool," because I actually don't listen to it as it comes out. Because it comes out on Sunday, and a lot of the podcasts I like come out on Saturday, so I don't get to that podcast. So that's good to know. And I found out because on Monday, someone actually came and watched a stream based on hearing that I did model kit building, and was like, oh, that's something I would like to see on Twitch. I'm going to go watch the stream. So like that worked out real good for that person. We are getting pretty good here on our whale. 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 We're going to keep going here. I don't know why I did that. I mean, I do know why, because it was fun. Because sometimes you got to do fun stuff. Okay, so we put that there. Put those there. Got it. But yeah, it is, yeah, it's like, sometimes you give people a heads up. But like, you got to know them. You got to know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, don't fucking worry about it. And that is our whale. This is the fourth build, as I said. This is the old fourth one, which we have not done before, but because it was a cool looking whale, I wanted to do it. But yeah, that is our friend the whale. So we will get a photo of that chasing its thing that it's chasing. Can I do it like that? I'm gonna take a photo, and then we will move on. So let me just close that out. I'm also happy to use my iPad because, yes, nice chunky friend, right? I only use that iPad Mini to read manga, and I don't read a lot of that. I don't read a lot of manga, but yeah, at this point, I'm just here at this computer, and occasionally I take my laptop out because it's good to use my laptop now and again. That's just good. So let's get a good photo here of this whale. About to eat this thing. Whale. I'm guessing the small thing is a squid. It's a scale. Yeah, I guess the scale is a squid. Like this, if it was a plankton, it would be like this big. So I guess this is a squid. Yeah, the scale of it is. It's going to go in there. Yeah, but then we get a big chonker friend there. Getting taken out. I will disassemble this in another stream, but I'm just going to have to get all this out here. Going to put this all in this box here. But yeah, I'll disassemble this on my own. I don't need to do this on stream. But I just want to get all of these pieces off and out so that I can move on to the model kit. But yeah, this was a fun build. This is a good time build. I was happy to work on it. And yeah, it was the first time I ever did the fourth one on a stream. But I thought that would be neat to do. Focus me. Hey, it's me. Oh yeah, put this there. I have a little water here. So we will take a pause for the cause in a bit, but we're going to start by getting ready for our Zaku 2, Johnny Ryden's Zaku 2. Even though there are two D's, so you would think it's Johnny Ridden. It's Johnny Ryden. Johnny Ryden's Zaku 2. We're going to start with the leg units. I love these instructions. They're very, very solid. This is a very good one. Okay, so we got to get our tools, get our snipper clips. And we are starting with the legs and then working our way up because we're going to start on the bottom. But yeah, we're going to work on the, our feet and then our legs. And then it kind of shows off the joints. Because, yeah, you have the internal skeleton. You could just build the whole skeleton yourself if you wanted to. But we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, we'll work on the waist and then the arms. And then the chest. And then the backpack. And then the head. And yeah, we're just going to got some odd things doing all the piping and stuff. And we'll figure this all out. Remove without letting other parts fall. Yeah. Should be interesting. Yeah, the weapons. And, oh, it's interesting. We don't do the hand until the very end when you have to attach the weapons. This doesn't necessarily have a backpack, but it does kind of have a backpack, but there's a way to put all of it together. If you just want to have everything combined on the back, which is neat. But we really worry about that. So there's a backpack, and you can attach everything in there. It's not the like the Easy 8 case or whatever, which is its own cool thing. But yeah, let's start with the legs. We're going to start with the ankles. If you haven't seen a real grade, so what's a real grade? Real grade is the 144 scale, but it is similar in many ways to a master grade in that it has, the articulation and the amount of pieces and components. So it is kind of like the best of both worlds. There's usually some kind of gimmick involved. This one is like the springs for all of the different tubing that a Zaku 2 is going to have instead of like beads. Yeah, make sure the part is facing the right way and is in the right position. Thank you. But yeah, you're also going to have these, like, the B is always these connectors that have a lot of interesting parts to them. But yeah, they're going to have some movement and some, like, this is, like, pretty intricate and odd for real grade, but I do like a good real grade. I think this Zaku 2 has a lot of style. You will see a lot of this in, or Johnny Ryden in, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on, sorry. Pardon me. Sorry about it, everybody. My allergies are kind of kicking my ass right now as the weather changes a little bit. It's getting far less humid here in South Carolina, which is awesome because sometimes it feels like it's over 100 degrees, and that's not great. I know it's worse in other places. I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to ask for pity or compare. I'm just saying, yeah, the weather is changing, and my allergies are not enjoying that fact. But yeah, he's mostly known in the, I believe, the Mobile Suit Variant series. So that's where a lot of people know this gentleman. That's F. We need E. Yeah, this is like a very just chill, cool mobile suit version of the Zaku 2. And here's the thing. We do build a lot of Zakus. I have built quite a few Zakus. Zaku 2s, Chars, the Warrior, the FZ. There's a bunch of Zaku's. We did that high grade not too long ago. The that was the white Zaku, which was very cool looking. But yeah, I've built quite a few uh, in my time, and I enjoy the kit quite a bit. H-I is I. Yeah, I. Here's I. Got two I's. Great. I gotta get used to what these are and all here. But yeah, I'm excited to work on this. I think this is going to be a cool kit. We will take, as I said, a pause of the calls in a moment or two, and we will, we'll build for a little bit, then we'll take a pause. We'll talk about ways you can support the channel if that's something you would like to do. As always, that is optional, and we'll try to get the fest. And then I got some anime to talk about in the second hour. Saturday's a big anime thing because I have three shows that come out on Friday and one that come on Saturday. Usually, one of those Friday shows I don't watch until Saturday. Um, Also, well, I'll talk about this a little bit in the lead in because I don't really have anything to say at the moment. I'm kind of in anticipation of having time when one season ends before the new one starts, and the show's going to wrap up. I'm slowly rewatching and continuing to watch ReZero because people that I really respect like the show, and um, it is one of the few isekai that I don't regularly watch because isekais are a subgenre that I really like. Um, I try every isekai, and some of them aren't as interesting as others. Um, but I do like fantasy series. I like action series, and there's usually a lot of fantasy and stuff, and also the trope of the overpowered main character, or in this case, the not powered, uniquely powered main character. I was like, I'm going to give this a go. So I've been watching it a little bit, and I know that it gets better. I know that people are like people who as I said, who I respect and appreciate their opinion on things, have told me that it's like, oh, it takes a little while to get into it. You got to kind of get into the rhythm of it. But once it kicks off, it really does kick off pretty well and becomes an enjoyable show. So I am giving it time and trying to find the fun in it. And it's taking, I wouldn't say it's like a bad time, but it does feel like I am investing in future enjoyment or entertainment. Like right now, I'm watching it and being like, okay, oh, that's kind of fun. All right. Ooh, that's neat. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't like that episode. But the beauty of it is it doesn't matter if I didn't like an episode because there's a bunch other episodes. And they're all there, and I can just watch them whenever I want to watch them. Which is the beauty of waiting for a show to have a lot of episodes and then marathoning through it. Which is like the same thing I'm doing with Boruto. Because, like, yeah, Boruto apparently is getting kind of exciting, but, like, it wasn't when I was watching it every week, so now I'm letting it just happen, and I'll get caught up at some point. Probably when a bunch of these shows end and new stuff hasn't started yet, like the end of September, which is a couple weeks from now, because a bunch of the shows I watch are on episode 10 out of 12, maybe 13, but very few shows have that. So as the shows I really like come to an end very soon, it is nice to know that like I got some things to watch. So I am watching it. ReZero is so far interesting. Um, uh, I don't Subaru. I don't like right now. I may come to like him. Uh, Obviously, Rem is best girl. I get it. Totally get it. And like Puck is great. Beatrice is great. Like there are characters in the show, they're great, and I get it now. I'm getting more of it. I'm understanding more of why people are into the show. But like, okay, all right, sure. Uh, so we'll see if I keep with it. But I don't know. It's kind of nice to have a thing to kind of focus on and like go through a bunch of episodes of and see if it's something that I want to continue watching. I don't know if it is. Um, but yes, that is my current like I watch like 3 or 4 episodes a day right now as I kind of go through it. Depending, I'll probably watch a couple tonight, especially when like my if my YouTube subscriptions, like if I've gone through everything that people put out that day, I'll if I've got like, all right, well, I watched everything, and the couple people that I watched their VODs, like I watched their VODs and we're okay and whatever. All right, well, I guess I'll watch a couple more episodes of that. Um, Also, just because I needed to see it, y'all, I needed to. I'm I've just like started on the last like 5 episodes. Like it's not done yet, but it's getting close to being done. I just watched like real quick. I just went through and watched a bunch of Sword Art Online because the story is wrapping up, and I was like, I kind of want to see where this is going. I'll watch it. I kind of want to know like how could this thing possibly wrap up? And it's like, well, if you're telling me that Kirito like woke up, I'm like, well, I want to see that. I've been watching this show for years. I kind of want to see what's going on. And it was like, it's like, oh, a character who fucking sucks got a bit of a redemption. And I'm like, well, he sucks, but all right. I guess he earned a redemption, even if I think he sucks. And there's like, oh, there's another twist coming. And you're like, of course there is. Gotta wake him up and see what's going on. Bunch of cliffhangers, but yeah, it was kind of nice to see. Just as someone that has watched quite a bit of that show, to have a like to kind of watch it end. The same thing with like, I didn't think the last season of Fairy Tail was particularly incredible. I thought some of the battles ended in kind of bullshit ways, uh, but there were a lot of characters that hadn't been seen in a really long time, and I mean, I started watching Fairy Tail as a dub, and then stopped watching it. Then years later, went back and watched all of it subtitled, and to see like, yeah, so returning some characters and some things full circle, and some explanation to some of the mysteries that existed for a very long time about it. Yeah, it was like kind of nice to wrap that show up and say goodbye, because I had watched it for a very long time. And I think the last chunk of Fairy Tail was pretty neat. It's kind of cool to see some stuff wrap up and see some character growth. Thought that was pretty cool. So we got more here. This is basically, you'll find on the B in any real grade is all like, hey, look, it's like most of the hand, and which separate, which you can replace, and like parts of the torso and the waist, and oh look, here's we're gonna build the legs out, so we got to start with this part, and there's some got to do some twisting and turning, which sometimes aren't explained super well, sometimes they're explained perfectly fine. Uh, but yeah, we'll get that started here. But we are going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, as we do here on stream, and I talk about ways you can support the channel if you wanted to, but you don't have to, but you could if that's what you wanted to do. But I'm not here to make you, but it would be neat if you did. That's basically it. Go there, that goes there. Okay, great. Put that there. How is the real grade difficulty compared to other types? So, Ristofan, in some ways, it is the most difficult kit type compared, with the exception of perfect grade, because they are intricate. You are dealing with small pieces. You are dealing with a lot of pieces. Now, do you have a frame here? So we're building a frame, so we're just going to put armor over it. Does that make it easier than a master grade? In some ways, certainly does. But are a lot of these pieces very tiny and intricate? Yes, because it's the 144 scale. So it is way more difficult than a high grade in a 144 scale, and in some ways is harder than a master grade because it is small and intricate. But like I said, do you have skeleton pieces you're working with? Certainly. So I would say that it is High grades are the easiest. Um, and then the non-graded Iron Blood Orphans kits are above that, then real grades and master grades, and then perfect grades. And sometimes the real grades are harder than some of the master grades, but in other charts the master grades are a little difficult. So there may be like parallel. And the perfect grades are the most challenging thing I've ever built. Um, and the easiest, actually, the very easiest things they don't make anymore, which is the uh, high grades in the 1/100th scale, because they are just big, bulky things and very easy to build. The high grade in 1/100 was the easiest thing. 144 is easier than that. RE100s are somewhere between the real grade, master grade, which is about even, as I said, and the Iron Blood Orphans kits. RE100s can be a little tricky, but often because they're just strange, that's why. But they're actually pretty easy to build. Um, so I think that's where they sit, and that's all the major ones. And there's a new grade coming out, which is even easier than high grades. And SDs are easy to build, but they require so many stickers that maybe they're parallel with a high grade. Hope that helps. Anyway, we're going to take a pause for the cause here. I'm going to hit the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe mode. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in there. I'm going to get through this lickety-split because I feel like everybody who's watching tonight knows what the deal is and understands what's going on. And I'm going to retweet I'm going to reply to my own tweet here because some people don't look at retweets. Just started the RG. Great, I'm going to put that in there. But yeah, this is the part of the show where I talk about ways you can support the stream if you'd like to. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you wanted to support what I do here, you're more than welcome to, and I would appreciate it. Got to log into Nightbot and get my commands there. If you wanted to become a subscriber, that would be rad. You could do $5 a month with that and pay in cash money or credit card, your debit account, whatever. Or you could use your Twitch Prime, your Prime Gaming, because you have Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch, you get this thing. You could gift a sub. On Thursday, Bobby Dice Roller gifted 10 subs, which is incredible. Silver Streak has gifted a couple subs. We saw that Harold gave me some bits earlier, getting Harold into the leaderboard along with Jam and Gary. But yeah, bits and coins always appreciated. Becoming a subscriber is always great. Donating one, gifting a sub. If you are a new subscriber, it's September, so you could become a new subscriber and you could get a discount. For new subs, you can do the 1 month, the 3 month, the 6 month, and you get bigger discounts as you go. For a little while, there was a bug where if you were currently a subscriber of somebody, you could cancel your subscription, like if it was going to be like due in a day or two, and then get the new price. That no longer exists. You can't do that anymore. This is meant for new people who are new to subscribing to a person, not and so unfortunately that is not available for anybody. I want to make sure that clear to folks that if you had a day left in your sub and you just canceled it and then started new, you won't get that discount. So that trick is no longer viable. But for September, if you want to join somebody, if you haven't become a subscriber before and you want to get in on it, you could do it at a discounted rate, which is cool. I have a Patreon. You can join my Patreon. Patreon folks get videos. If you're $5 or $10, you get videos 1 day early. I know, Harold. I agree. It's boo. But I have a Patreon. If you're watching this later on YouTube, you can find the Patreon link and all the links I'm going to provide in the show description of the video. Thanks for watching. If you're watching the VOD, click over to chat because you'll see it right now. Yes. But if you wanted to join my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, $10. $1, you get a Q&A every month. You get posts from me about my schedule, so you can follow along about that. Agent, my favorite Gundam is the Gundam Death Scythe Hell Custom from Endless Waltz. Sometimes it is the Gundam Death Scythe, the original. Sometimes it is the Hell Custom from Endless Waltz. Right now, it is the Hell Custom from Endless Waltz. I love Death Scythes. The the Decide Tell is like number three. It's always number three because I think the flappy wings aren't. They're not my favorite. But it does have a double Death Scythe blade, which is fucking cool. So that is my favorite Gunpla. I like the Master Grade of the Death Scythe Hell custom. I think that is a fantastic kit. My favorite model kit to build is the Sazabi Real Grade because I built it. There's a clear, a ruby red of the Sazabi Real Grade. That is probably the best build I've ever put together. It's just fucking gorgeous, and because it's a Sazabi, even though it's a real grade, it's huge. It just rules. Uh, Agent, the cloak mode, the covering it up, in the Death Scythe Master Grade of the Death Scythe Hell custom from Endless Waltz, takes some effort. The high grade of it does not connect well, and the Death Scythe Hell doesn't. It's a high. There's only a high grade of it, and it's not great. The Death Scythe, regular Death Scythe, is fantastic. But it is the wings are you kind of want the wings to just be open in the Hell custom, but the Hell itself, the high grade Hell, it's not the best. We will be building at the end of this month or beginning of next month whenever I get the Death Scythe, because it's being mailed sometime in the end of September. I'm getting that Death Scythe from the manga with basically just like the original wings, which is pretty neat. It's a pretty great looking kit. So we'll be building that. Is it a lot of the 2011 re-release of the Death Scythe? Yes, but it still looks rad, and we built Death Scythes on here. I'm going to get through this real quick. We're going to get back to building, but I did want to, answer that question because someone used bits, or not bits. They used the points in there. Yeah. So I want to answer questions when I'm asked those. Let's get this through real quick. So this kit. So I got distracted. So yeah. If you want to support the channel, you don't want to become a subscriber, you don't want to join the Patreon. We're going to get back to building this real great soon, but I'll just get through these real fast. I have a Coffee and a Streamlabs and a PayPal. You can support me a one-time donation. And all of the money I make goes back into the channel to buy kits, occasionally equipment. I've been very good about equipment. The last thing that we had to buy was this clip light here, which we needed in this room. But when we got that, I have not bought anything else. And the thing I bought before that was the wireless adapter for this desktop, knowing that I would be here and need it to be wireless. The Lego set we built and this kit and another Lego set we'll be building sooner was bought off my Amazon wish list. And it jumped the queue. I have other things to build. I've got a good little backlog right now, which is great. But if you want me to build something and to build it before I build other things, you can go to Amazon, click on that link, check out my wish list. I've got Lego kits. I've got real grades and high grades and master grades. So for Gundams, I've got some papercraft in there. A bunch of different stuff. Sometimes the prices are not obscene, but just a lot. And don't spend $52 to get me the Super Saiyan Brawly figure. But someday it's going to be less than $52, and then get it then. But maybe if you wanted to get me the Kyrios Master Grade, which is right now $50, because that's been 60 plus. So I don't know. Maybe you want to spend $50 and have me build a very cool Master Grade. But that's optional. Obviously, you don't have to do it. It's nice if you want to, and I put that out there. I also have the alternative is you can buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. You get the gift card sent to your email. You then whisper me here on Twitch or DM me on Twitter with a code, and I buy something off there. Usually it's a pre-order because that's nice to just be able to do that. And then future me thanks past me. So at a certain point, I'm going to build a cup noodle that someone gave me code for, or I'm going to build the Krillin Figurize kit that Harold gave me a gift card to, and I used to buy that. That's coming in the future. Those two kits are coming in October. All right. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. It's nice there. I post photos of stuff I'm working on. When people build things and work on things, they post things there. It's been a little quiet lately, and that's okay. But if you would like to post some stuff you're working on, join the Discord, post a little bit in there. It's nice. Um, I'll have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club up, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. So if you missed the last one, Pat Bear's Anime Club, it was a video essay. I usually do different topics of things. This video essay for Pat Bear's Anime Club was about G Gundam, some of the pros and cons of if you've never checked out G Gundam, which is a series that is remembered fondly by some and remembered with some caveats by others. And I just kind of like, because it comes up a lot, it's nice to have a reference. So if someone says like, hey, what do you think about G Gundam? I can be like, well, here's what I think right now. But also, you could watch this video about how I talk about some of the good, the bad, and the good bad about it. The mixed bag. And then Baering the List. I did a Baering the List video about Legos, like Lego pieces. Next week's is going to be real good and maybe divisive. But that one was good. For some reason, Siri thought that I was talking to her, and I was not. Just letting you know that happened, because sometimes it does. Anyway, I'm going to drink a little water. We're going to get back to this real grade build. It's coming up in just a second. Getting back into it. Oh, I like that. Someone saying like, man, Drake really wants to be an actor. And I was like, I think Drake is an actor. He was on Degrassi for like 6 or 7 years. I'm pretty sure that makes him an actor. Does it make him a good actor? I don't know. Never seen it. But he is an actor. He was paid to act in a television show in Canada. And then occasionally, just shown in classrooms and as part of health. When there's a topic that they want to cover in your health class, and they'll put an episode of Degrassi. I don't know if that's you. That was definitely me. In my school, we definitely watched some old Degrassi, not some of this new class Degrassi that Drake was in, but I remember watching some of that at the time. Anyway, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I mean, he is an actor. He was paid to be an actor. He's been on more episodes of television than I have, and I'm an actor. So there you go. Anime. I'm going to talk about 4 anime shows that I watched in the last few days since the last stream. So this will be stuff that came out on Friday and stuff that came out on today, on Saturday. So I'll talk about these 4 shows. If you watch them and you have comments, let me know. If you have further questions about these shows, let me know. I will say that this episode of Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out was one of... It wasn't like bad. It was just like, okay. I will give it credit for. So, generally, the banter and the back and forth these characters have are always interesting. That's why you watch this kind of show, is these characters are... and their flirtation, and they're like, they don't realize that they're flirting and that they're into one another, and that is fun and interesting. So that is a draw for a show like this, right? The back and forth is always fun. I think they do a great job with it. I think that they are cliche in the accidental adult situations these two characters find themselves in. The people misunderstanding what they're saying and them not realizing it. There was a bit of a twist in this episode. Okay, so it starts with we meet Hana's mom, and she was in the opening animation. I did not know that was Hana's mom. But now every character that has been in the opening is now in the show, so that is good because we got that done with, which is great considering this was episode like, I don't know, 9 or 10 or something. Hana's mom paid for a futon replacement from 2 episodes ago, where Hana was celebrating her birthday and then vomited on Shinichi's futon. It was a whole thing. It was a whole big thing. Anyway, so she gave him money to replace it. Well, they gave too much money, and he doesn't want to. He wants to give some of the money back because he's like, you gave me too much. And Hana doesn't want to accept it, so he's like, well, then I have to go give it to your mom. That's the whole thing. We're going to go there. Also, he's excited. He's nervous about going, but he's also excited because Hana lives with her mom, and also there are cats there. Uh, and there are reference to a dad, but we don't meet the dad or know anything about the dad. But there is definitely reference to him existing, as we'll get to. He wants to return the leftover money. He wants to beat the cats. Hana's mom looks a lot like Hana, except that instead of having big, big old anime eyes, she has like little tiny uh, eyes. She's just like more relaxed and refined of a lady. Although she does misinterpret things and overreact to things like Hana does. So that is where they are different, or similar, I should say. Anyway, so she's scared of Shinichi because Shinichi has, murder eyes because he is a very intense dude. He's got, as I've said before, he has resting bastard face. He's just got like a mean mug. He's always mean mugging, but he doesn't mean to. Uh, so she is kind of freaked out by him. Where's E? I'm going to mess this up. J, K, H, I. Sorry, I'll figure this out. F2, F1, D, B. Here's E. Found it. Anyway, so she's scared of him. She sits way far away from him. Also, she didn't know that he was a dude. She just kept hearing my senpai, and was not told that he was a guy. So she's learning a lot. Anyway, because he's staring at the cat, and there's some innuendo talk about petting the cat that the mom doesn't understand because they never stop to go, hey, he is scared. Cats don't necessarily like him, but he likes cats. They never say that. So she thinks that he's like interested in her. Oh, this is the first Gundam movie you watched. So you're halfway through the third Mobile Suit Gundam movie. Nice. So there's always a debate about the movies and whether they're like a good place to start. I think they're a fine place to start. Like you miss some stuff, but like, look, just get into it. People are going to have opinions, and also, hey, feel free to put those opinions in the comments. I'm going to tell you to watch 8th MS Team. Some people are going to say, like, start in the beginning. Just start with the first Gundam. Just watch the first Gundam. I think 8th MS Team is incredible. If you're looking to go outside of the Gundam series, or outside of the main Universal Century and work on a side series, I think Iron-Blooded Orphans is incredible because Iron-Blooded Orphans is a pretty modern show, and it takes all the main themes and actually legitimately explores those themes. So I would always recommend that. Like I said, people have different opinions about where to go, but I think 8th MS Team is like a pretty incredible story, and you can really get a lot out of that. So I often recommend that show. Yeah, so like Iron Blooded Orphans is modern, but like you don't need to watch any other Gundam series to enjoy it. 8th MS Team, like I think context certainly goes, but like there are there's so many different Gundam series out there. Like if you ever watch the Rockman which also here is called Mega Man EXE, if you ever watched that, the Build series is similar to that. Build is like a love letter to Gundam, but it is ostensibly more of a kid show than a young adult show, like some of the other ones. I think I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know a lot of people really love it. But yeah, there's so many different things. Like I, like some people love Gundam Seed. Some people don't like Gundam Seed. I think Gundam Seed probably doesn't hold up, and is definitely not like one of the ones I would say you should watch sooner than later. But if that's suddenly like you're like, no, this is the one I want to check out. I'm like, all right, then go for it. All right, let me get back into this. Anyway, this episode's fine. It's just Hana's mom thinks that Shinichi is interested in her, and that's weird. And then there's a whole thing where Hana is acting like her mom, um, to bother him, and it does. Uh, the episode ends with this is a fun little thing, and I'll get to your question in just a second. I just want to finish off talking about this show, and then we'll get into that. So okay, so the very end of the episode, which was an okay episode, the mom stuff isn't like is kind of new, but I also hope that it's not reoccurring. I hope it was a one-off. Anyway, okay, so they somehow win a free trip to Tottori, Japan, which is in real life, it's a real place in Japan, is the hometown of the creator of Case Closed. You may know it as Detective Conan. And apparently, that town is super psyched to have the creator of that show live in the town. So much so that the town has become, in real life, this is a real thing that exists. It is a hotbed of tourism. The tourism of the town is focused on it being where the guy who created Case Closed lives or grew up. So they focus on that, which is it's weird. That's a weird thing. Um, uh, and so there's like in the anime they acknowledge that, but there's like Case Closed stuff everywhere at the airport, and they like kind of comment on it. They don't say the name of the anime, but they comment on it because they probably didn't get the rights to reference the anime, um, which I just think is cool and weird. Oh, they want me to apply the stickers first. I'll wait on the stickers on the back, but we'll do the other part. Yeah, Double O is good. I think the mobile suits in Double O are underrepresented in Gunpla. I think that there are a lot of. It is a strange thing where they're. Um, but I think in general it is a pretty solid show. Yeah, I think Double O is a solid one. Um, uh, 24. Um, oh, in the very end of it, so they go on this trip, and there's like someone watching them. Is the people watching them uh, are the people watching them the friends we know? Are there someone new? I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, so that's the episode. I think if you like a romantic kind of comedy show, Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out is totally serviceable and fine. I do think that it is cliched. The cliches are very obvious. It's not the most inventive show. Uh, so I think Double Zeta is good. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Zeta or Double Zeta, but there's a lot of it. Uh, you know, oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this piece on. And okay, so this is top of it, and then it should slide in. There it goes. Great. We got to put some stickers on here, even though we won't ever see these stickers probably. We're still going to put them on. 7 and 8. We'll try to get these on. It's fine, says Harold. Yeah, or it says Pet Bears. Harold says yes. Yeah. Anyway, Zaku-chan Wants to Hang Out. Good episode. Great episode? No. Good episode? Yes. Food Wars. Y'all, my predictions are coming true about the show. So if you haven't been watching, I predicted that this character that we had just been introduced this season was going to be actually Nakari Erina's mom, and she is. So then I predicted. Okay, well, if she is the mom, this is my prediction so far, right? Semifinal was going to be Soma versus Asai. Cool. Soma's going to win and then face Erina, but his actual battle was to prove to this dude that he's better than his dad, and where his dad couldn't beat this guy, he's going to beat him. So that's the important thing. So he's going to do that. Uh, and then once he does that, then he's got his big victory over him. So that's the important thing, right? So he's going to do that, but because the final boss is Erina's mom, he doesn't need to win that fight. She's going to win that, and so that's going to be the finals. Now we do know at the end of this episode, we know that he is going to that matchup is going to happen, uh, which is like okay, cool. Uh, oh, and then my other thing is that like I feel like actually this dude is Erina's brother because, which I don't know for sure, but because the young version of him in the closing theme looks a lot like Erina's dad, and she just looks like her mom. So I'm like, well, maybe they're brother and sister, and like he didn't know that. I don't know. Skipping Zeta on the MK2. Oh yeah, the MK2 is great. Okay, so we got to put that on top. We got two more stickers on here. Are we ever going to really see these stickers? No, but they're gold and kind of neat looking, so we'll put them on. Okay, so this season is just bad. I'm kind of bummed this season of Food Wars, but I'm going to stick it out because I've been watching it, especially with Megumi losing. I'm like, well, that's my favorite character in the show. Okay, fine. Asai doesn't seem worried about Soma, and we kind of now get to understand why. This is a guy that steals. He steals the tools when he beats somebody. He takes their tools, and why he didn't take Soma's weapon, or I can say weapon, but knife, cooking knife, because it's just he's got the better version. He thinks because he's got Soma's dad's blade. Uh, but I'm like, meh, I don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's fine. But also, that's kind of Soma's style. Isn't this thing like people like a lot of the people he's stealing from have like a technique they use, uh, and their blades like represent that technique. But that's not Soma's style. He learns from other people and adds it into his own cooking. So you don't need to use his blade. That's kind of his deal. It's fine. It's a fine enough episode. I've said fine a bunch already, but yeah. All right, so we put a sticker on here. That looks neat. Uh, oh yeah, I mean sometimes high grades aren't the best quality, and you do need to use glue or blue tack. If you use blue tack, you can kind of use that to kind of hold things together, and to so it doesn't feel wobbly. But yeah, that does come up. Okay, so the good part of this episode um, is so Soma has some flashbacks about cooking with his dad, but also we get a lot of flashbacks of him cooking with his mom, which we're learning a lot more about her now than we ever really have before. Like we knew that she passed away, and it really kind of fucked with everybody's heads, um, but yeah, it's kind of fun to kind of look at her cooking. He did a lot of she did a lot of messed up foods. Like she would just try stuff. She learned a lot from failures, which a lot of these chefs don't have that attitude because they are trying to they've got a lot to prove and they got to be the best. But she was always like, well, you learn from failure, so you want to try a bunch of stuff, and if you screw up, okay, because you can learn from it. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That part was neat. I thought that was the best part of the episode. Um, the members of Polar Star, the dormitory that we know someone from, have finally shown up, and that's great. So they're cheering for him because, of course, they are. Uh, and that's pretty much the episode. It's not a great episode. It had some fun stuff, but it is said like it is going by this formula that I'm like sick of. Oh, there were also other noir members. Like there was somebody that was like she wore a motorcycle helmet, and there was like another dude, and I can't remember any of those people because they all got beat and they never got names or any special information about them. Uh, they I thought they were really trying to make noir seem cool. There's also some secret thing that's happening that we don't know about. They haven't revealed yet. but I don't think that's going to matter because someone's just going to beat this dude. Uh, oh, and then there's a reference to their theme is combining all of the five great cuisines, which are uh, Chinese, Japanese, Italian, Turkish, and Indian are the five great cuisines, and so they have to combine all of them into a super dish. Uh, Maybe I'm wrong because maybe it wasn't Japanese, maybe it was or maybe it was Chinese and French. I don't remember, but I remember it was Turkish and Indian were in there. But anyway, they got to use all those very cool cuisine types and combine them all together somehow. It it's progressing. I think it's like I don't think the villains are ever threatening. I think his technique sucks, and I think that he is uh, that Asai is the worst villain because he's like he already got his revenge on the guy that taught him to cook and then left, and then he's like, all right, well, what is he gonna get his revenge on? His son? Okay, well, you already beat him once, and it didn't satisfy you, so okay. Of course, he didn't know, so you beat him without him knowing anything that was going on. It's like, all right. But it's also the thing of like, yeah, someone wants to win everything, but like, does he want to like make a dish for Erina's mom? Like, no, he doesn't really want to do that. Doesn't care about that. He just want to make cool food and keep being a student in his school and learning more. He doesn't want that job that the winner would get. Certainly, he wants to go back and when he's done learning a lot and becoming a better chef, then he wants to go reopen the diner. Like that's his goal. It's like okay, yeah, just seems weird. Anyway, that's Food Wars. Um, this was a pretty solid episode of Fire Force Season 2. I will say, if you have not started Fire Force Season 2 and you were like, Pat, I really like Fire Force. Uh, I watched the first season. I haven't watched the second season. I would say stick with it in the beginning because it is not good, and then it gets pretty dang good. But yeah, it definitely starts off weak. And now we're getting some good shit. But yeah, Shinra gets a second of grace from the woman in black, and he sees Tempei's memories. And we kind of knew that this demon guy seemed pretty shitty, and it turns out he was shitty. He was a rich dude that had a lot of wives and a lot of land, and he lost everything in the great cataclysm. Um, and the evangelist, we see the evangelist come through, and she turns him into a demon. So she was the one to do that with one of her bugs. And that might be the first time we found out that she also uses those bugs. That it wasn't just it wasn't like an invention of the people that serve her. I think that might not be the case. I might be forgetting an episode. I gotta find M here. So there's K, L, there's N, this is M. That's F2, F. Sorry, folks. I'll be with you in just a second. Here's M. Found it. Um. Anyway, so yeah, Shinra defeats that demon, which is great. And then the woman in black says that she was once human, and the evangelist is manipulating mankind since ancient times. She thanks Shinra for saving the forest. She is basically just a spirit now inside of the tabernacle, keeping it safe, and he thanks her for the assist. So you can defeat that demon, which is awesome. It's pretty good fighting. Good one. The crew say goodbye to the animals, and Shinra once again has the first pillar inside of his dream and wonders if the first pillar was a sacrifice inside of the thing that powers all of modern Japan in the show. He wonders if that. So yeah, there's a lot of thought about Is maybe the Church of the Holy Soul uh, wrong or lying or holding some sort of secret? And I think next week's episode is going to be about Licht, the guy that joined the crew that definitely doesn't see, he's got other stuff going on. He hasn't told them that he's associated with Joker, a character I really fucking liked that first season. Definitely implied was going to be incredibly important to the show, and very much has not been important to the show, which has been a real bummer because I definitely thought that dude was going to be in shit, and he has not been. But yeah, good episode, good action. They're back. The grand adventure in China is over, which is kind of a bummer because that was fun and I liked it. But that's over now. It's okay. We'll survive. But yeah, after 4 episodes or 5 episodes in, it really does pick up, and I've liked what's been happening here. Okay, and now we're on to the Misfit of Demon King Academy. A lot of action in this one. So they are in the human realm. They got there within a day, but the looks like some of the third years got in. They're there. They're doing their thing. We meet Revest. He's the top third year. We haven't met him before. My big complaint about this is there's a lot of this dude in this episode, and I would have loved it if this dude had been in a previous episode and not just introduced today and made to have us care about him. It would have been way better if he had been in, I don't know, at some point in another episode. He might be like in the background of one or like in a reaction shot, but I don't remember that. Of course, he does not like Anos. He does not recognize Anos as the future demon lord or the demon king of tyranny. He does not believe him. So, of course. The school principal introduces himself. He's in charge of the special class. It is very clear at this point and later that the heroes are going to use cheating tactics and no good tactics in order to one up the demons because for reasons. I mean, they're demons, so I guess I get it. But yeah, they're going to definitely try to trick them. Ano sees through it and in fact can use holy magic. They're quote unquote holy magic. Yeah, a demon can use it, and they're like really freaked out by that. He's like, yeah, it's just on a different wavelength that's similar. It's just different. It's different, but you can do it. So he shows that because he knows what's up. All right, so we got most of our leg done here. We're gonna move on to some of our side pieces here. We need J and K. So let me find J and K. Here is K. 10 and... Yep, 9 and 10, or 10 and 6. And J. J is this one. Great. Got it. Working on our leg here. Anyway, so let's see. The heroes seem more willing to acknowledge Anos as the demon lord than the third years because he's strong, and they're like, well, show me somebody stronger than this dude if you think he's not. He's clearly the strongest demon. Even though obviously they're going to cheat to win, they still think that he is. They acknowledge him to be strong. Let's see. Anos and the twins go to a festival that night, and they see Lei and Misa together. Is it a date? Who knows? But they seem to be connected. Which is fun. Also, because this show is, even though there are 3 ladies in Anos' squad, this is not really a harem show. There's ladies, but it's not really a harem show. So, believe me, I am thrilled about. So it's nice that some characters are dating. And then the inner high battle is going to start. It's going to be the third years against the heroes. Anos does say he'll do it, but they're like, well, you don't know enough people. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll take my fan club. Then I'll have enough. But it still ends up being the third years. Agent asks thoughts about Pacific Rim. Do you think it's a good movie? Is it technically mecha? We are ignoring the sequel that never happened. So it is. It is a mecha series. Obviously, it is. While there is psychic links, they are powering it. It is akin to, G Gundam, where you're piloting it and doing the thing that way. So yeah, I think it totally counts. I think that movie is awesome. I think the lore is really fun. You know, I think it's totally fine to want to know more about the world and the characters and what happened before. I think it's totally okay to wish that you knew more about what was going on. Uh, and yeah, I think that it is a really fun show or fun movie. Uh, and yeah, I mean I didn't really watch the sequel. But yeah, I think that Pacific Rim is totally cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how this goes in. Doesn't seem to want to. This is outside inside. So inside is the flat piece and outside is the sharp one. Okay, so it just goes like that. There it is. Okay, I got it. Sorry, y'all. Took a second. Got it. Um, yeah. Yeah, I think the first one has a lot of heart and is cool. Is it cheesy in some parts? Yeah, sure it is. But I still think it is overall a cool story, and I was happy to watch it. Going back to this here. So, um, uh, I enjoyed the second movie for what it was. It's mostly just a Saturday morning cartoon. Yeah, I have definitely heard similar thoughts to that. Okay, so it looks like that the heroes. Hey, how weird is this, right? The heroes are cheating to defeat the demons, not the other way around. The demons are acting like they're just going into whatever. And it looks like they're not going to rush to help the demons that easily get defeated. It doesn't look like anyone is going to go out and give them a hand. But Anos saves everybody. And he's like, I want to take them out in round two. Oh, the one way they're cheating is they have infused holy water within the regular water in this battle. Like they chose the location, of course, because it's their school. So they are cheating by making it so that they have just under a extreme amount of what do you call it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, they have an extreme amount of holy water, so they're just really powerful, and you're just cheating. And Anos liquefies the whole lake. Not liquefies. He heats up the whole lake and just evaporates all the holy water. And the teacher's like, "Well, we're going to cancel the exam." And then, of course, his students are like, "No, we'll want to fight, and it's cool." So they're going to have another fight, and now it's going to be the team led by Anos with some hardworking characters who aren't necessarily the strongest, and uh, we will see if they can prevail. But there's a secret weapon. Claudia, the human we met last time, was not competing regularly, and so they did something to her, which I'm sure that Anos will. Well, I don't know for sure, but perhaps Anos will be able to stop whatever is happening to her and make it so that she's okay because she was respectful and nice. Uh, but yeah, why haven't modern mech taken notes from Pacific Rim? The big world's heavy and slow, and the punches and attacks have more weight to them. I don't know. I think that modern mech outside of Gundam is so you have something like Decadence. Decadence is a show that has a giant robot, a giant, huge, cool robot in it. Um, big. It's not a robot, but it's a big like vehicle. That's not the center of the show because that is a slow moving thing that looks cool, but it's more about the people involved in it. And I think that that is modern mecha stuff that is outside is like that. Like Listeners is not about the cool robots fighting things. Listeners is now, of course, I did not enjoy Listeners, but Listeners is about the the people who are trying to fight the things and the music and all the other things like that. It is not about the cool big robots. Um, I think it's going to be a long time before we get another series that is about the cool big robots, like uh, Darling in the Franks. Darling in the Franks is it's only about those big robots because it's about the people, the the duos piloting them. That is the thing that it is about. It is not about how cool these big mechs are, these humanoid alien mech, like things. That is not the focus. It could be in the future, but right now, that is not how people are looking at that stuff. Like I said, it definitely could end up that way, but right now, uh, that is not where people are putting their interest in. Uh, they're really focusing on the folks. Um, I would say that what series handled that pretty well? Um, uh, speaking of the same company, but Gridman. I thought that the cool vehicles that combined in Gridman were pretty damn neat. And obviously, that show is a remake and a throwback to a different kind of Ultraman style show. It is a throwback to the original Gridman in a way, and definitely a different take on it. But I think that choice, I think those are strong choices to about where that series could go and what they could do with it. Uh, well, yeah, it's like yes. Um, I've talked about this before. We are in the postmodern isekai era. Uh, where people are getting weird with it and the weird shows are getting made. Now, does that mean that traditional shows aren't getting made? No, of course not. ReZero is on right now. There will be other regular old isekai coming out in the next season. We will see more of that. Uh, but Yeah, there's the two girls and a guy that got moved over. There is the young anime that's coming out. There's the young boy that uh, is reborn and communicates with slimes, and that one feels more like an adventure and less like a we got to save the world, and more like, hey, let's have fun with our friends and like and our guild and explore whatever. And oh, cool, your thing could definitely help people. That seems more chill. Um, and then there's the I'm a girl in a video game, and now I'm stuck in the video game, uh, and the cute outfit I have powers me up, and I'm gonna help people and survive in this world that I'm trapped in. Uh, that one is coming as well. So there's three Isekai in the next season, right off the top of my head. The people on this channel know, or people that watch know that I am generally uh, pleased with isekais. I watch quite a few of them. Uh, some of them aren't great. I think that this year has not been a strong year for isekai. I think that some of them have been just okay. I thought that I'm the Eighth Son. Are you kidding me? Because it had a lot of intrigue, political intrigue. I thought there could be something good about that one. It turned out to be not that great. Uh, let's see. What were the other 2020 isekai? Because there was that one. Of course, there was that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Had some of its bonus this season. Some of this extra stuff came out this year, which is great. Um, and I thought that was great to check out because it was just really well done. Um, yeah, I don't know if there was another one that came out this year. I figured like there was another one. you love mech like me, try Titanfall 2. Yep, Titanfall 2 is an incredibly solid mech game. You're not wrong there. That is a really great series. That really great single player fun time mech stuff. Uh, um, Into the Breach is a great tactical mech game that I think fucking rules. Um, but yeah, Titanfall 2 is rad. Uh, yeah, I think that campaign in there was really awesome. But yeah, I would also say if you like any kind of tactic stuff, Into the Breach is awesome. And we are almost done with our leg here, but we are going to go and finish this off. We're going to do part of the back leg after, but we'll get done all but this. Uh, yes, I've heard that No Man's Sky mech stuff is fun to use, so that's cool. I have not played any of No Man's Sky, but I do hear that the mech stuff is fun. But I don't know. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up there. We got some stuff done here with our leg. That was. Oh, that's the bottom part here. Part of our foot fell off. Cool. So we got some done of our real grade. It's a lot. Real grades are a lot. Like the scale is small, but the detail is pretty impressive. We still have to do the back of the leg, but we'll get to that in another stream. So I'm going to take a photo of this here, and how do we end every stream? With a raid. Now this raid is just somebody that I know that I think is awesome. So I'm going to go and check out somebody for us to go and hang out with. Hopefully they'll be on for a while. Like I said, sorry about on Thursday. I didn't realize that Ben was going to be wrapping up, which was a shame. That does happen on occasion. Let me go and mute this here. And I'm just going to go and find somebody for us to go and raid that I think is cool. That's doing some stuff. Oh, I don't know how long she... yeah, wait, did he finish up? Yeah, Xandra is playing. Don't have a good night. Our good friend Xandra, who made the emotes, is playing The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past randomizer solo co-op. 2 seeds, 1 controller. Ooh, that seems great. But yes, so we're gonna go raid Xandra because Xandra is doing a cool thing. I'm just gonna wait for a second there, and then we'll go and raid because that sounds awesome. And that seems like very fun. What if it's a sword? Oh, no, they're just asking questions in the chat. I was like, what? Was that my chat? That was not my chat. That's their chat. Anyway, we're going to go raid Xandra. Xandra rules. So please give her lots of love and enjoy that. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'll be back on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, continuing to work on the real grade. I hope you can come hang out for that. Have a good one. Oops. Have a good one, and feel free to come along the raid. You don't have to. You're no obligation to do so, but I would love it if you did because Xandra is great, and it's always fun to go and see friends and support them. And I'll see you on the next build with Baer. Have a great night. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.